Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Brainbean here again, freshly back from CES with a ton of really great stuff to show you. Now, as you can tell by the title of this video, we're going to be taking a look at some of the really great stuff I got to take a look at when I went to go visit Thermaltake. So without a doubt, the most popular thing that we've seen sort of buzzing around the internet from Thermaltake is their new RGB water-cooled RAM kits. And I got to take a look at these, and I think the blocks look really nice. And it's a really interesting thing for them to offer, especially considering that they do include the memory in the kits, which I think is a really nice thing to sort of have this all-inclusive package. Now, the way that it's going to be offered currently is either in two 8GB kits for a total of 16 gigs, or 4x8, which will give you 32 gigs. Now, of course, depending on your motherboard's configuration, you might be able to support up to 2 of these blocks or just the one. But either way, I think it's going to be a really nice addition to a custom loop setup because it's going to give you just another point to add into the loop. And so depending on kind of the shape you want to make or the architecture of the loop, it's going to give you just another jump off point. And so that's going to allow people to do, a bunch of other different things with custom builds. So I'm really excited to see how that's going to affect custom loop building in the future. Now, I enjoyed taking a look at the water-cooled RAM, but you guys know that I'm a huge keyboard nerd, so when I saw that they have a new line of peripherals for their 20th anniversary, I was pretty excited to really dive in on the keyboard. Now, admittedly, I didn't take too much time to look at the level 20 mouse, but the level 20 keyboard really was an exciting piece to take a look at. Now, the level 20 is a fully mechanical RGB keyboard that's going to come in a choice of 2 different aluminum backplates. It's either going to come in a silver or black backplate, and it comes with a bunch of really cool features. It's got dedicated media keys. It has a fully circumferential light bar that runs around the sides back of the keyboard. That is a nice thick light bar. I mean, it's probably 1/2 inch thick, so it's gonna blast light all over your desk. It has a ton of lighting zones. I don't know the exact number, but it is a bunch of different lighting zones that you can control all around. It has a nice stylistic cutout in the middle, as well as another light bar that runs between where the arrow cluster side is and the rest of the keyboard, which I think looks kind of nice. And one of the interesting things about this keyboard is that not only is it going to be offered in the Cherry MX Speed and Cherry MX Blue switches that we saw offered with the X1 RGB, but it's also going to be offered in Razer Green switches because, as you've kind of seen, that Thermaltake and Razer have partnered up, and so now all of Thermaltake's ecosystem can be controlled with Razer Synapse. And so this is kind of an interesting marrying between the brands, and that's going to give just another option for the switches that we'll see with this keyboard. It also has USB and audio pass-through, and I think it just sort of checks a lot of the boxes. Now, you guys know I'm definitely going to be doing a review of this keyboard, so we'll see when I actually get hands-on and can really do a deep dive for you. But the time that I got to spend with it, I was definitely excited to see, especially from a company like Thermaltake that isn't necessarily known for its peripherals, to really be taking more and more steps in the right direction to really be able to compete with a lot of the big dogs is something that I'm really excited to see. Now, I love keyboards, but my favorite part of the visit, without a doubt, was the new RGB standing desk. Now, I know what you're thinking. They're gonna put RGB in anything these days, and an RGB desk just sounds absurd. But hear me out. So most desks, you would have sort of an RGB light bar along the back. It gives you a little bit more ambient lighting to your setup. It's better for your eyes when you're looking at a bright screen. But what about having those light bars extend down the sides of your desk and even run around the front? It might be a little bit excessive, might be unnecessary, but when you add in the fact that Thermaltake's whole ecosystem works with Razer Synapse, then you start to pull in the in-game integration with games like Overwatch or with Doom. And the demo that we got to sit down and play had Overwatch installed, and so when you're changing characters and you not only have your peripherals changing, but you also have your entire desk changing around you, and the computer really makes for a super immersive experience. And you load something like Doom up in there, We were playing, I have some good shots of my wife playing as Mercy, and you can see as she's changing between the healing beam and the damage boosting beam, the whole desk is just rippling out and changing colors. Really makes for a cool immersive effect that may not translate as well on camera to seeing it happen, but actually being there and sitting and checking this out is really cool. Now it is a motorized standing desk as well, and another really nice touch that they added is that it's going to come with a complete wall-to-wall mouse pad that covers the entire surface of the desk. It's a soft mouse pad that can be rolled up and moved. And so that's just something that, you know, if that's what you like, and having, instead of just an extended mouse pad, you can have one that literally covers the entire desk. Now, I don't know if the one we saw there is going to be the official mouse pad that will launch with the product, because it is still very new. But it's definitely a really cool idea, and that's one of the peripherals from them that I'm most excited to really put to the test and take a look at. We also got to take a look at a new lineup of fans, which included up to 3 different rings of LEDs for a ton of customization, and are by far, in my opinion, the best looking fans from Thermaltake yet. We also got to see a new chair design introduced as well at all of the stations. Now, this chair didn't really seem to be much different than the GT Fit that I reviewed a while back. The main difference just being that it is wrapped in a real natural leather instead of a polyurethane leather. Well, that's it for my tour of the Thermaltake suite, guys. Let me know in those comments down below what you think about this lineup and if there's something that jumps out to you in particular. Of course, you can give this video a like if you enjoyed it to show your support, and if you're new here, I'd love to see you subscribe, as I've got a lot more videos like this coming for you in the near future. And of course, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll have more CES videos coming for you very soon.